If you are planning a moss stitch ripple project but need straight edges, the best way to start is to create a foundation row of moss stitch triangles. This is a totally different approach than presented in the earlier video, How to Straighten the Moss Stitch Ripple. In that case, the starting point was a completed ripple where the peaks and valleys already existed and needed to be filled. Follow the link in the description below to download the companion patterns. For every peak, you need to have a moss stitch triangle. We're going to make a slip knot and chain 4. Slip stitch into the very first chain to join into a ring. Now I like to move mine around that end over the back of the feeder yarn and bring it alongside with the ring. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That represents a double crochet. Then we're going to insert our hook into the ring and pull up a loop and complete a single crochet and a chain 1. Now we're going to do the corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert, work a single crochet, chain 2 for the corner, insert into that same ring, work a single crochet, chain 1, work another single crochet, and yarn over and work a double crochet. That way our sides are balanced. See how it's already starting to look like a little triangle? Okay, so now we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn our work over. At the base of that chain 3, we're going to work a single crochet to start the side, a chain 1 for a side space. Then we're going to find the side space we made already. There we go. And work another single crochet, chain 1 in that side space. And then we're into the corner where we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, a single crochet, and chain 1. There's our next single crochet, so I'm looking for that space. Okay, insert our hook in the space, pull up a loop, and do a single crochet, chain 1. Now, under the turning chain that was represented a double crochet, we're going to work a single crochet into that space, no chain 1 this time, but yarn over and go into the top of that chain, that turning chain, and work a double crochet. Now that concludes the triangle. Just finished my 4th triangle, and once I've done this triangle, I do not end off on this end, but continue along the base edge, just like in the moss stitch triangle pattern. And then I'm going to work across it and continue across these additional little triangles. Chain 1, then insert your hook around the end double crochet and work a single crochet, and then do a second single crochet in that same space. Then we're going to move on to the next end stitch of the next row. Now there's only 2 rows in this whole pattern because we only did a very small triangle, but there could be more. So you'd put a single crochet around each of the end stitches until you get to the center. We're at the center already. So we're going to single crochet twice in that center of the ring. Then into the next end stitch of the row, we're going to work a single crochet. And then we're to our chain up, or our turning chain. And in that it has like 2 pieces, one here and one here. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet here, and then I'm going to make sure that I get up under the top 2 loops right at the point and work the second single crochet there. Now that completed this triangle. So I'm going to go to my second triangle, get right into that corner, and work a single crochet, and it's around that double crochet. That's the first one around that double crochet, but I want to get right under those two edge loops. Then I'm putting the second one around it. Then I'm doing one single crochet around each of the end stitches of the remaining rows. Now, had we made this bigger, there would be more rows. Then 2 single crochets into the center ring, 1 single crochet around the next edge stitch of a row, and then we're back to the turning chain, 1 there and 1 right up under those 2 loops right at the point. So now we have these connected, and they're connected very, very neatly. And I'm going to continue on until I have all of these connected. We're right at the turning chain, and we're going to work 1 single crochet around the base of the turning chain, and then we're going to make sure that we get the upper 2 loops right at the point, just like we did before, and work a single crochet. Now we're at the end of the row. So here we can cut our yarn and weave this end in. We have a complete row where we've connected all of our little triangles into one row. And now we're going to be starting on the next row. We're going to be working along the ripple edge. So this is the right side of the last row. This is the wrong side of the last row. It's counterintuitive, but you do need to turn it and attach your yarn at this point in order to duplicate and can be consistent with the stitch pattern of the ripple stitch. I'm going to insert my hook right under the 2 loops on the end. I'm going to pick up a loop and pull it through. Then I'm going to use both strands and chain 1. Drop this end off, and I'm going to go find the first space along this side and work a single crochet in that space, and then a chain 1. Now we have 2 side spaces. Single crochet, chain 1, which is a moss stitch in each one. Single crochet, chain 1. Now we're at the peak. Here we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, chain 1. Then a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, single crochet, chain 1 in each of the side spaces. Now we're at this point where we're at the space before the valley. So what we're going to do is pull up a loop, yarn over, go to the space after the valley, pull up a loop. So we have 4 loops on hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4. Chain 1. Then do our side spaces, which is a single crochet, chain 1 in each of the side spaces. In the tip, we're going to do a single crochet. Ooh, my yarn's splitting. A single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, chain 1. Then the side spaces, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Let's do the valley again, because this is a little bit different. We're going to insert our hook before the valley, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook in the space after the valley, pull up a loop, 4 loops on hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4. That's actually exactly how you do the moss stitch ripple, the bottom of the moss stitch ripple. But because I have this extra row, it looks a little bit different, just so you know. But it's nice and even. And I'm going to continue on repeating this all the way to the end. When we get to the last space, we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over the hook, and then insert our hook right into the last stitch. Now, because there's a border edge here, it's not down here, it's right here. This is the row that converts you. So I'm going to do a couple more rows so that we can then show you how to fill in the other side of the ripple so you don't have these valleys either. We're in full ripple pattern. You could go as far as we wanted to at this point, and our edge is nice and straight, and you can go back and add more border on here if you'd like. But let's deal with these dips. Triangle. We have these big ones, which are the most common. So let's start there. Insert your hook in the peak with the wrong side of the piece that you're going to fill in facing you. Pick up a loop. With a double strand, chain 1. Drop this loop off, go into the next space, and single crochet. Now that together is like a decrease at the beginning, and that's how you have to think of it. Chain 1. Now we have one side space to fill in, single crochet, chain 1. Now we're at the valley, at the space before the valley and the space after the valley. Insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert and pull up a loop in the other space. On the other side of the valley, 4 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Chain 1. We have one side space on this side, single crochet, chain 1. Then insert our hook in the next space, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert right into that last end stitch, pull up a loop. We have 4 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1, and turn. This is our second and final row. Therefore, we are going to weave this end in right now. It pays to do it at the appropriate time. Then you don't have a lot of mess when you're all said and done. So, we've chained our 1 already. Yep. Now in our first space, we're going to just do a single crochet, chain 1. Now we're at the valley. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook on the other side of the valley into that space, 4 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Now we're at the end of the row. So insert in the next space, yarn over, insert right in the top. It's tight, but we'll get there. Insert right in the end stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Now if you had a large and I chained 1, I'm turning. I don't really have to go any further. So I could, if I wanted to, I could come over here and do a slip stitch, then weave it in. That just helps to weave it in. And that sort of makes it neater. So I'm going to cut my yarn, pull this loop through, and you see how much neater that is? Now we have an interesting situation because we have half triangles, which are also triangles, but they're really tiny little triangles. With the wrong side facing me of the last row, I'm going to insert my hook right into the tip of the peak. Pull up a loop with 2 strands, chain 1. Drop that yarn off. In the next space, do a single crochet, chain 1. The next space, single crochet, chain 1. Now, if technically we're at the valley, but there's no, it's a side edge, so this is where we do just our regular pull up a loop, yarn over, and then go into that side stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 4. Chain 1 and turn. Now, The first thing we do is do a single crochet in the very first space to start decreasing along this side and keep that side nice and straight. Chain 1. Then we're at the point where we're going to do it. Pull up a loop in the next space, yarn over, insert in the top of that end stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. Chain 1 and turn. Now you can slip stitch into this one if you'd like, and there you have it. We're done. The rightmost corner is worked exactly the same as the left corner, except start at the side and work to the peak, and don't end the yarn, as you will continue across the edge later. For each one of these triangles, there are 8 stitches along each of them. So we want to have 32 on this end too. So what we're going to start with is a chain 1, which we have already, 1 chain, and a single crochet in that space. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, in the very top of the peak, we're going to put 2 single crochets. Put 1 single crochet around each edge stitch of the next 2 rows, then 2 in the center, and 1 around each of the edge stitches of the next 2 rows. Then just continue across the rest of this edge in the same way. So now we've just started and finished our moss stitch ripple with straight edges. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!